Hey guys! Welcome to my video, where I rank who in Tpot has the most unfair eliminations. I will rank them from least unfair to most unfair. And I'll give my reasons why. Last place is Foldy. She didn't do much in Tpot, and this is just a classic example of a character being boring, then getting outvoted. 7th is Pi. Like Foldy, she didn't do much during the time she had. I only rank her higher because she was the first elimination. 6th is Naily. She was a fun character but sadly had her personality stolen by Price Tag, to make it even worse. Tillo and Bombi were soaking up all the votes on her team. Let's also not forget her team was up against Death Pact again, and most people would want to vote for someone on that team instead. 5th is Cloudy. Ever since Balloony left to join BFDI, they have both paid the price, sadly because of how much they depended on each other. They aren't that interesting on their own. Cloudy even made the whole stage for his team in Tpot 3. One of the things that took away votes from him is that everyone else on his team is a fan favorite. Also, there was a voting war going on the other team, so sadly he just couldn't keep up. Next is Remote for 4th place. Remote massively fell off in votes after her team was first up for elimination. Though Remote's elimination took most people by surprise, a lot of people in the Tpot community would rather vote for someone that's in danger than someone who is most likely safe, because Remote did so well in her last elimination, and because she didn't appear to be behind in bracket. Most people assumed she would be safe, then put their votes elsewhere, playing a huge part in her downfall. This just goes to show that bracket isn't always accurate, and in a voting war, anything can happen. Taking 3rd place is Eggy. Unfortunately for her, her team was up against a team full of fan favorites, which takes votes away from her and her team. Also, there was a massive voting war going on both of the teams up for elimination. Being in the less popular voting war on the less popular team was her downfall, even with a Bo leading the charge. It wasn't enough to save this egg from getting scrambled. I might get hate for this, but I'm going to say Fries is 2nd place. His elimination was rough due to him being in a voting war, while another voting war was happening on the other team. Also, Fries is kind of underrated, due to him only having a minute of screen time, and people see him as a clone of Snowball and Eraser. People say his elimination was unfair because Tennis Ball and Eraser had bots voting for them, but I'll come back to that later. But first, the number 1 most unfair elimination is Saw. Love or hate her, you can't deny the way she went out was unfair. Some people hate her for her 8 gag while others find it charming. She was useful to her team in literally every challenge, but her elimination is the worst part. Like with Fries, people were using bots to save their favorite characters, but for Saw's elimination, it was especially bad. Barfbag jumped from being eliminated to top 3 safe, leaving the rest of the team to fight to survive. However, the vote bots for Saw's elimination rigged it more than the bots in Fry's elimination. Don't believe me? I'll show you. After about an hour in, the votes should stay mostly consistent for the rest of the voting. However, watch what happens with Barfbag. As you can see, Barfbag starts getting botted, but it doesn't stop there. Once she passes Saw, it's pretty much game over for all the other characters. Then in the last few hours, everyone starts getting botted just to keep up with Barfbag. Meanwhile, with Fry's elimination, he's the one that gets botted, though it's not that successful. Once you're about an hour in, voting typically stays consistent unless botting gets involved. When Fries starts getting botted, he's already about 500 votes away from Tennis Ball and Eraser. It starts slow but gets really obvious a few moments later. He randomly jumps up nearly 600 votes a literal day. After voting started, every other character kept gaining votes consistently. These are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours. Comment below who you think has the most unfair elimination.